I wanted to just update my videos. I'm gonna put this one on my platform on TikTok or Facebook, not Facebook, but YouTube. When we first came into this new administration, I think I posted in one of my videos that I was talking about, it was going to affect, my insurance and most likely affect my insurance and the insurance that I had and my, me being a pre-diabetic, and the medication that I'm taking. So I had to take that medication. I think I kind of mentioned that in one of my videos. I think I made up 2 or 3. So I don't know which one it was that I talked about that. Anyway, I'm going to update on that. I have my insurance, affordable care insurance since 2019, and it started out and it pretty much stayed that way up until now. I was paying like I think $39 a month for insurance is what I was paying. My insurance, because of this current administration and all the rollbacks and the cuts that he have made, I kept my insurance. I was able to keep the policy that I had. But the only difference is I went from paying $39 a month to paying $125 a month. So I had to learn how to fit that in my budget because I got to have that medication. But there's one thing interesting and that came across that I have forgotten all about as far as I'm just pre-diabetic, not really full diabetic, and I hope I don't get there. I had one of my brothers to tell me about a little remedy that he uses. Someone told him about how to eliminate and to cut that being a diabetic, where you don't have to take anything at all. So I started using that remedy back here when I figured out, I don't have to pay so much for this insurance just to, just keep this where I'm able to continue to buy this medication. So I started doing the remedy that he had told me about back here, I think like a year ago now, but I just kind of let it win one ear out the other. Anyway, he told me that to do certain things to eliminate, to be able to flush the sugar. If I put sugar in my body during the day, to be able to flush that sugar out, he told me what to do, and he actually said it worked for him. So I was kind of like, really, okay, I don't believe that would really work. But I told someone at work about it a couple of months ago, and this guy, he's not a diabetic, but he has a daddy that is a diabetic. So he told his dad about what I had said about a little remedy to do to kind of cure that, reverse it. And he actually, to my surprise, he told me like about 2 or 3 weeks later, he said his daddy tried that and it actually worked. It brought his numbers down. I was so shocked that I was like just sitting there with my mouth open, couldn't say. So it actually worked because I hadn't really tried it. I tried it, but I didn't test my blood sugar to see if it was working. But after that, I decided to start doing it. So I'm hoping by the time I'm going to see my doctor in a couple of weeks, because I've been doing it, and I'm hoping that I get some different results from that. From what I'm hoping that it shows something real positive, not nothing negative. Sometimes my weakness for me is sweets. I like to snack after I eat a meal. I like to snack and get something to snack on to eat. So That's my weakness. So, and I know I can't do that if I want to kind of reverse this, because me now paying, I went from $39 to $125 on my insurance. So I think that what he told me to do, it might be cash it, because there's a whole lot of people saying that they got other people that's trying it too, and that's kind of bringing their numbers down some too. So I'm glad if it's working for somebody, even though I'm gonna try it and see if it works for me too. But I was just glad that it worked for somebody. If it better somebody's life, then more power to them. I'm glad about that. Anyway, moving on from that. So much different stuff. I've been watching like YouTube. I keep up with YouTube with what going on. I've seen so many videos of people talking about they vote for this man and how they regret their vote. I'm gonna tell you something, because I hear a lot of videos and stuff, and people asking, when this protest happened back a month ago on the 5th, probably with this one, I don't really keep up with anyway. People been, some people got the nerve to say, why African American, black people is not out there in those streets, protesting. I'm gonna tell y'all why that is. Because we protest on November 5th. When we went to that poll, we protested then because we knew what was going to happen. There's not a lot of things that Donald Trump is doing that surprise African American, because we've been oppressed for years and years. We kind of used to, we prepare ourselves for more, because we have had so much stuff on us. And I know a lot of people I want to sit up here and watch this video and not agree with me. And that's your prerogative to do that. I'm trying to keep my blood sugar and my blood pressure on control. So I just say what I know, what is a fact. And I don't try to argue with anybody. There are some people, black and white people, Latinos, Mexican people that didn't vote for Donald Trump. And I understand and I know that. But then there's like, I seen this video of this Caucasian one was asking her, I think she stayed in like Nebraska, and she was asked, do anybody care about Nebraskan and Nebraskan people? Over 65% of Nebraskan people vote for Donald Trump. And in the illegals, the immigrants that live there, is 60% vote for Donald Trump. Donald Trump did not do anything new that he was not saying that he was going to do for the last 2 years when he was on his campaign run, and he was telling them mass deportation. He was saying, and I don't know why people think that did not was supposed to be, for them too, that they didn't count with that. He said mass deportation. Most of Nebraska is like a farming state. So they had like a lot of immigrants there. So if you got a lot of immigrants and then they're illegal, and then they're working for you and they're keeping your business up, why would you go into that poll and then vote against your own interests? Vote against the very thing that this man, as much as I don't care for Donald Trump, there's one thing I can say. This man did not do or have not done anything that he didn't vote on that campaign when he was running his campaign. that he didn't make himself clear that he was gonna do. And I don't know why people sat there and they listened, and I watched some of Donald Trump rallies because I try to get the be the fair thing and try to figure out, what he's gonna do. I already knew what he had done in 2016, but I try to give a man the benefit of the doubt. So I listened to a lot of his campaign, his rallies when he was having, and then people cheering when he's saying he's gonna do a mass deportation. He's gonna do a mass deportation, and he was saying it, and he was saying it, and he was saying it for years. So people have the audacity now to ask, do anybody care about their state? And in less than 6 months, Nebraska is going to be in bankruptcy. 60% of Nebraskan residents voted. 65% of Nebraskan residents voted for Donald Trump. When Donald Trump was saying mass deportation, it's going to start on day one. He said it's going to start on day one. Why? I try to rationalize that in my head, and I'm listening because we all got ears. I don't know what school some of the people went to that they cannot comprehend. Donald Trump is not a smart man. The things that he say, anybody with education, my 10-year-old grandson could figure out and comprehend when Donald Trump says mass deportation. My 10-year-old could figure out what that means. And he can comprehend that, and for some of the people that did not get that, you thought that you was for the mass deportation, but y'all thought that was going to only affect the black and brown people. You actually thought that the things that he was talking about he was going to do, that it was going to only affect the black and brown people. And I'm just being real. I'm not trying to be mean or ugly to anybody. I'm just being real because I've been listening to YouTube and for the last 2 or 3 months, when I'm home and I'm not working, I'm sitting and I'm listening to it, and I'm popping from video to video, and you got people on there crying and talking about, they made a mistake and they voted. But it's a little too late to be sorry now. Excuse me. It just, we are in a mess, and people are still, what gets me is that people are still deluding themselves, thinking, okay, this is just temporary and it's going to get better. But every single day, he does something different. He does something different from what he did the day before. He keeps saying, and then everybody said that China blinked on the terrorists, and China didn't blink. Do y'all realize, you gotta come off. I'm just gonna say this, and I'm not being ugly. You gotta listen to it more than Fox News, because when you listen to just one perspective of somebody, you living in a bubble. You need to come outside that bubble and then interact with other people that's got other opinions and other ideas, and that way you're not stuck in this roller coaster, cycle of Fox News telling you only what you want to hear. China didn't blink on any terrorists as far as Donald Trump is concerned in the United States. I said in one of my videos, I cannot remember which one, because y'all know I made like 3 or 4 of them. I said, it came to me, I don't know how I did, it just popped in my head. It's like a voice inside my head said I did not mean, I just did not mean, the last, at the end of time, the last would be first and the first would be last. I had somebody else come in my ear and stuff Well, I was sleeping and said the last would be first and the first would be last. And they were saying not just the people itself, but they was talking about countries. They were saying country. So I got that in my head and I thought, okay, so you talking about country. I seen this prophesied person, old guy. I think he's like a priest or something. Right before he passed away, like a couple months ago, he prophesied that in 3 years that the United States, in numbers, the United States will be like a third world country and be like in a number like 15, and like China and it's another, I can't think of but China is supposed to be number 1. China is doing things. China, the United States was what I'm saying. China don't need United States. They don't need their goods. China is doing things, and y'all need to, look it up for yourself. Don't come off of Fox News and then see this for what it is. See this for what it is. China is rising. This prophet said that China will be in a I think 2028, that China will be the number 1 country in this world. China had reversed the United States tariffs back on the United States, and China has split the middle guys out of the stuff that they sell online. Have y'all ever, look at some of the stuff that you buy. All the iPods, iPads, tablets, Apple phones, all the smart stuff, smart TV, that stuff is made in China. That stuff is made in China. And now these other countries branching out where they are pulling together as a nation and about to cut the United States out of all the things that they are doing and just gonna leave us behind, which they should. I can't say I would be mad at that, because the United States, United States had been one of the worst. Now, I'm not saying that there's no racism in other countries, but the United States has been one of the number 1, and they number 1. We are number 1 when it comes to a racist culture. We, over the years, held ourselves back. We actually cut off our own foot, and spot our noses for out of racism, because you do not want to see anybody that rise and have something a little bit more like what you got, or somebody rise that don't look like you above you. What difference does it make? I seen so much this, and it's a reality where it's actually true, where a lot of white people in the United States are racist people, and it bothers them to see someone that of color, have a little bit more than what they got. And they talk about black people, the DEI was created for black people, but the statistics say that more Caucasian white women benefit from DEI than black women and African Americans. Let me give y'all an example. When I started my new job, I had a supervisor there, and she was in a supervisor position, but in order for her to be in that particular position that she was in, you had to have a high school diploma. She didn't graduate out of high school, and you got her over here, and you got this black lady over here that is cross-trained in that facility that can do everybody's job, including the director, everybody's job in that facility, have had 4 different positions in that facility, and a education, went to college, and got out of education, very smart woman. But the only thing different was with her, she looked like this. And as long as the other director that was there at the time, the lady, the white lady that didn't have any education, had no idea what she was doing in a supervisor position. She would ask a lot of people, get advice for how you do this and how you do that. But you got this woman over here that's highly educated and knows exactly what she's doing. But this lady over here got the job until they brought someone in that facility that recognized who was more qualified for that position and then who wasn't, and done the right thing, the fair thing, and then hand that position off to the most qualified person. I don't care who you are, how you look. If you got more education, if you know your stuff, if you know your stuff better than me, I don't have no problem. I don't care what color you are. I'm good with that. I really am. I'm good with that. But y'all have got to get out of this mentality of thinking that, because you've been taught from the day you was born that you're privileged and that everything's been handed to you. And in these days, some of you got a nerve now to talking about where black women, why they ain't protesting. If y'all notice, if you notice some of those protests, and there's been a lot of them, there's like two things missing. The police officers and the dogs and the water hoses. If you can Google every protest that, and don't take my word for it, y'all are smart people. Even though you act like you don't see this stuff and you see it, Google a protest, Black Lives Matter, of just black people protesting something, and then Sue's out there, and then Google the latest protests where just majority of it is white people. And then you already know, it's not rocket science. You don't have to ask any question and try to put your hand on your chin and try to figure it out. You know what it is. We are not going to go back out there and put our lives on the line, and our children, sons and husband lives on the line and stuff, and lose our family and stuff for something that only y'all going to benefit for. 92% of black people on November 5th went to that poll, and they just didn't vote in their own interest. They voted for everybody else, for the people that lost their jobs, for the people that they sent people that is very legal back to El Salvador, I think is what they call it. They doing things, and they are defying the courts in the Supreme Court. They doing all kinds of different stuff, and I'm just waiting on that ball to fall, because so many people are so wrapped up in life. This world is not permanent. One of these days, we all are going to close our eyes for the last time. We're going to take our last breath one of these days. There is so many of us, can I honestly say with a straight face, when you do that, you are ready, 100% ready. No doubt in your mind that you are ready to meet your Creator. It's just sad that this country, I don't think this country is ever going to be the way it, well, for black people, it ain't never been no walk in the park or no picnic. So, and then people ask why black farmers is not, on videos. They didn't get the handout and the money and stuff and the loans that other farmers got. They've been having a pay for years to pay their land off, and do stuff the way black people have always done it. Had to survive. We have survived the best way we know how, because we don't get no handout. We don't get nothing for no free. We don't get, people always wants to say, talking about welfare. I can tell you, I won't say it how I know, but I can tell you without 100% doubt that most people that get welfare is Caucasian people. And most people that get food stamp is Caucasian people. And don't ask me, how I know that, but I'm telling you on my mama resting place, that is a 100% fact. That's why black farmers is not on videos stressing about losing their farms and property, because they cannot lose what they never had. And I don't mean the farm itself. I mean they cannot lose, the benefits of the government giving them money, to sustain their land. They can't lose something they never was getting. That's why they are not stressing out about none of this. That's why, black people are living their lives and stuff, getting their hair done and going on. I mean, I've been teaching myself how to do the boots on the ground dance, and I still ain't got it, but I'm working on it. But I haven't got it yet. But black people just living their lives and stuff, because we're not. I mean, this ain't something that we haven't already been going through our entire life, and the ancestors have too. The ancestors, matter of fact, prepare us for times like this, so we don't get all stressed out and stuff. We're not on videos crying and saying we made a mistake, vote for the wrong person, how we going to fix this, blah, 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 blah. We're not on there doing that, because we already had it planned. We knew, there was a chance that if Kamala Harris did not win, we knew it was a chance. We knew exactly what we were going to go through. There is nothing that Donald Trump had done that we are surprised and just in shock about. We're not surprised. We're not surprised by nothing that man done. Nothing. Not nothing. And what people said, that some people said, well, y'all just want to vote for her because she was a black woman. Let me say this. Now I'm getting ready to end this video. And 2020, I voted for President Biden. I don't think well, last time I checked, he was a white man. I like his policy. He wasn't, I know he wasn't perfect, so, but I'd rather have him and his unperfectness, and he tried to do his best. If Kamala Harris would have won, we wouldn't be, those protests would have never took place back here a month ago or a few weeks ago, because there wouldn't be no reason to. But some of y'all just could not see. You didn't want what she was saying, and now she tried not to say I told y'all so, but everybody else is saying I told y'all so. We told y'all what was going to happen, and here we are. And it's a mess. And I got friends and stuff that are so affected by it. They are down in the dumps, but they're coping the best way they can. There's people talking about people that look like this. They talking about, desperate times and stuff like that, and they are really depressed, and I have to pray for them but I'm saying on the inside, this is what you voted for. You wanted this, and the only thing I said is, if y'all want to fix this and kind of correct it a little bit, get to them posts in 2026 and change the situation around. Y'all have a good day.